Hey guys, we did it. The Chicago Bears just got the guy that everybody wants, and I'm talking about a brand new day in Chicago. We have a new head coach. Ben Johnson is coming to Chicago to coach this team. I'm super excited. It comes out of reports just now, one being from Tom Pelissero, and this is, I quote, a new day in Chicago. The Chicago Bears are finalizing a deal to hire Ben Johnson as their head coach, per sources. Johnson is set to fly there soon, and contract parameters are in place. Barring a last minute snag, the Lions OC stands with an NFC North rival. And I just love this. And you guys let me know in the comments if you think this is the right move. I'm going to call up this story. Let's also look at what Adam Schefter had to say. Bear down. Chicago is finalizing a deal to hire Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson as its next head coach. Sources tell ESPN Bears are getting their man. And I mean, the momentum has been building all day today. Kind of looking at reports coming in earlier today, NFL reporter Josina Anderson, she shared this morning the news that sources around the NFL believe the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator was deeply considering the Chicago Bears head coaching gig. Also, league sources who now have believed today that Ben Johnson is deeply considering the head coaching vacancy with the Chicago Bears. I mean, nothing is official, but all reports are that it's a done deal. And we'll have to wait to see what this contract parameter is, what the length of time is. And another thing to look at, I think the Bears are going to do the wise thing. Once this contract is finalized, I think they're going to extend GM Ryan Poles' contract to match exactly the same time frame. And it makes sense that Ben Johnson is coming to Chicago. I mean, the opportunity to work with Caleb Williams, build a legacy in Chicago, makes this particular job opening different than all the others. Not perfect, just so much to like about this head coaching job. And what I love about what the Chicago Bears did for this, they didn't come up with what they usually do. They didn't come up with a candidate that people are like, oh, that's a big surprise. That's outside of the box. I mean, whether you were in the court of Ben Johnson, whether it was Todd Monken, whether it was Mike McCarthy, I mean, whether it was the offensive coordinator Brady from Buffalo, what the Bears did here, success or failure, what the Bears finally did was swing for the fences and just do the easy choice, do the smart choice. Just take the number one guy available. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not because they made a huge mistake. And we're looking at this opportunity to work with Caleb Williams. Plus, things look so much more appealing in Chicago across the board now that Ben Johnson is calling his shots. I mean, even the most cynical parts of me cannot deny this. And while this isn't to say that there weren't other interesting candidates worth considering for this position, let's just call it what it is. Ben Johnson was the best candidate with the most upside possible to be hired for this position. And the Bears would have been foolish not to take a huge swing at this one. Swing big they did, and now we can move forward. So let's kind of look through this a little bit. How hard did the Chicago Bears swing? And if you recall, the Bears didn't waste any time at all in reaching out to request and secure an interview of Ben Johnson. They did it on the first day of the team's offseason. Chicago lined it up. They completed a virtual interview almost immediately with the top target on the first Saturday of the offseason, and that's during the Lions bye week. And there was a time in late December even when Chicago's football team was seen to be the best bet to hire Johnson. Since then, you've got the Las Vegas Raiders emerging as a real threat to this. And if Vegas would have pulled it off, it would have spoken volumes about how much pull Tom Brady actually had in his role as a minority owner. And to pull this off, Brady was doing his usual thing that he did during his playing career. And I don't want to hash into it. You guys can disagree or not. This is a guy that was involved in Spygate and Deflategate, all these little things. He has always openly said that I'm willing to do anything to win. We know that that's all he cares about is winning. And he was willing to have this conflict of interest that the NFL actually participated in for him to call these games with a candidate for their head coaching position at the helm of the offense. So we're talking, he had extra access. But in the end, I'm not going to hash all the way through it. In the end, it didn't work, and Chicago got their guy. So we're looking at the hottest coaching candidate during the offseason. He has led a dynamic offense in Detroit, an offense that ranked number 1 in the NFL in scoring this season. And totally, I mean, you're looking at a guy like Jared Goff that has always been there, but he's never been elite. But with Ben Johnson, with this offense that was put together, with this scheme, totally revived the career of quarterback Jared Goff. Johnson's rightfully labeled as the next offensive guru. And then also, if you're looking at Goff, like if you look at it objectively, he's probably number 4 in the NFL MVP voting this year. If it was like an objective process, sure, you have Josh Allen. Sure, you have Baltimore's quarterback that I hear is pretty good. Then you've got Saquon. Arguably, if you look at the raw numbers and you look at the success of the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, you can argue that he was in the top 4 of MVP voting potentially this year. And he wasn't even close to there until he was under Ben Johnson. We're looking at 2 last year. He was a top coaching candidate last season, but he decided to return to Detroit in 2024. He had unfinished business. Lions team just fell short of making the Super Bowl when they lost to San Francisco. He declined head coaching gigs in each of the previous 2 seasons, but he's always maintained that there's a fire about being a head coach at some point. And today it came to fruition. And there's also the rumors that he wanted that Chicago Bears coaching job last year, but we foolishly stayed with Flus. So, man, he is joining. Sorry, I'm so excited. This is such a good day. They have a roster of plenty of talent. Most importantly, a franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams. Johnson is the ideal coach to improve this offense, maximize the abilities of Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams' physical tools when compared to Jared Goff, man, sky's got to be the limit if he can work his magic here. And kind of looking back too in the media, Johnson, when he was asked about the talent of Bears rookie signal caller Caleb Williams, man, he had some good things to say. And I think Caleb Williams is what tipped the scales. This is a direct quote from Johnson. It's been difficult to just sit down and study every throw, but there's no question that this guy is talented. I remember standing on the sideline last game against the Bears, and you could just hear the ball whistle by you. He's got quite a fastball, has some creativity to him, can extend plays, and he's accurate down the field as well. Like I said, I haven't really dove into it. Can't tell you much more beyond that, but he's been impressive from afar. Johnson has had all these chances to see Caleb Williams' talent firsthand, particularly when he threw 3 touchdowns against Detroit on Thanksgiving. I know you don't want to talk about that game, but Johnson has maintained through that he was focused on the current season with the Detroit Lions, the upcoming playoff run, and now he is the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. Let's just take some time out, not to criticize this, not to get all in our feels about this in a negative way. Let's just celebrate the simple fact that after all these issues with the Chicago Bears, the front office, the coaching staff, we finally got our guy, and we got the number 1 guy in the market. You guys bear down. Let's celebrate this. Let's have some fun with it, and I will be talking more about it soon. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.